Hey everyone, Ryan Young, Kama Jiu-Jitsu. Hope you're doing well. I'll get a lot of messages, emails, text messages, private messages on Instagram, which we are on, by the way, Facebook, all those, and people are asking me, hey Ryan, I don't train at a school that does the jiu-jitsu that I want to learn, right? I really like to learn Kama Jiu-Jitsu, AKA RICKSON, GRACIE'S Invisible Jiu-Jitsu. I really like to learn Kama Jiu-Jitsu, but there's no school around here. You're not near us. All that, logistically, it's very difficult. So how can I go about doing this? The easiest way, well, actually, there's a few ways to do it. So we've had people come in from all over the world to come and train with us. They'll stay with us for a couple of days or a week at a time, right? I just had a gentleman from Ireland come in for a week. One of our affiliates who is now actually moved to the area, moved close to us, but he was out in Arizona. He would make trips out from Arizona to Texas. We've had people come in from Canada that would go to California. People from Australia would go to California and train there. All right, but that's if you have the desire and the means to do so. That's the way to do it, right? That way you can do it firsthand. However, for most of us, we don't really have that kind of time, or maybe even that kind of money. $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. That's a lot of money. But maybe we could do $30 or $50 a month. The next best thing would be to simply, in fact, a gentleman just called me today from Alabama. Asking me how he could do it, because the school that he was at was a sports school, and the other school in this town was also a sports school. But he wanted to do the self-defense. He said he's not interested in doing the sports stuff. He says he's a little older, and he said his competition days are over. So how could he accomplish this? So I just said, just sign up for the Patreon channel. A lot of you don't know it. Even though I mention it every single video, some of you still don't know that it's there, and you can find it by simply clicking on the notes below, and you'll see all the links. Rusty puts them all in there, and the Patreon video link is near the top. So once you click on the link, then you can choose your level of patronage. So to see instructional videos, you have to be either at the brown belt $30 level or the black belt $50 level. Those two levels are the ones that give you access to the instructional videos. The lower tiers will not get you access to the instructional videos. They may get you access to the YouTube, but they won't get you access to the instructional videos. So we've got, I'd say, well over 100, probably close to 150 instructional videos on there now. So here's what you do. You train at your current school. You learn what you want to learn over there. You train with your friends over there. You get your exercise over there, but you're going to play it with the thinking of one of our videos that works with that. So for instance, you're playing guard in your studio. You're going to play guard the Kama Jiu-Jitsu way by watching a video. So you watch one of Dave's videos on doing guard, certain way how to connect. He has one on how to connect the guard, connect to your opponent through the guard, how to set up chokes, how to set up the sweeps, how to do a number of things from the guard. You can conceptualize them, you can learn the concepts, you can internalize them, and you can then use them in your school. If people ask about what you're doing, you can tell them if you want. It'd be great. Tell them what you're doing. You're getting your ideas from the Kama Jiu-Jitsu channel on Patreon, or don't. It's up to you. But you can practice it in your school. Now, what will happen is your Jiu-Jitsu will evolve. It'll end up being different from what you're doing in your current school. Maybe your professor will pick up on it. Some professors don't care. They ask them, what are you doing? How do you do that sweep, or why do you do it? How do you figure it out? Oh, I saw it on the Kama Jiu-Jitsu videos on Patreon. And oh, okay, well, that's cool. Others may not be so happy about it. You're going to have to kind of figure that out. So you can still train at a sports school and enjoy all the benefits that has to offer, at the same time learning the Kama Jiu-Jitsu style as well through the videos that we put out on Patreon. People think, well, that's an additional cost. Well, yeah, it is. What doesn't cost you more to get it, right? You could do another route, which is, for some people who don't have any schools near them, just enlist a buddy and get some mats. You don't have to get any expensive mats, but 10 by 10 is about as much as you will need. If you have more, even better. You can buy these foldable mats. And make sure if you're going to put them on your garage, on the floor of your garage, make sure you have at least 1.5 inches of mats. That way you can do throws relatively comfortably. 2 inches would be better because you'll have a lot more cushion when you fall. Or if you do like my home studio, I have it upstairs in my game room. So it's on the second floor. It's on carpet. You got half-inch carpet, half-inch foam, and then you have plywood underneath. So there is some give on plywood. So I only bought a 1-inch mat. The amount of cushion you get in it is about the same as we have in the studio here, where we have 1 5/8" mats on 1 inch of plywood on 4 inches of foam. So we've got suspension mats here, and it's very comfortable here. But yeah, go and get yourself some mats for your house. Find a training partner, or 2 or 3, whatever you want. Maybe one will come in Mondays, one will come in Wednesdays, one will come in Fridays. And go and practice with them. Watch a video on Patreon. Pick a concept, pick 2 concepts. Watch it over and over and over. Then practice it with your partner. Learn it, learn it, learn it, learn it. And then call it a day. Don't go explore anything else. Do it maybe 30, 50 times. Do it left-handed, do it right-handed. Then at the end of the day, go back, watch your next video or 2, and then before your Wednesday training session, maybe you'll have that same partner, maybe you won't, I'm not sure. If you have a different partner, just go over your second video concept with him. Left, do it right, do it 30 to 50 times. Friday, you have another guy, right? So you're gonna watch a third video. Well, what do you do on the following Monday when the original guy comes in? Well, you're gonna bring him in again, or you can bring him in obviously, and you're gonna do that first video you did with him on Monday, and you're gonna do it 20, 30 times, but then teach him what you showed the Tuesday guy, right? The second video. And then go and practice it with him. Then on Tuesday, or not Tuesday, Wednesday, when the Wednesday guy comes in again, practice video 2 with him, go over it over and over and over again, and then show him either what you did with your Friday guy or your Monday guy, and then practice it that way. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna get so many reps, you cannot help but get good at it. And that is the key to being good at anything, is you choose a core concept. So look at the follow-up to the Pareto Principle video that we also have on Patreon that shows you how to use our system, and go through that system. If you have just one partner though, just go over everything with him in sequence, same sequence you're going in. But if you have different partners, keep yourself on your sequence, and then keep your partners on, I guess, their own sequence as well. But you're the priority, so you're gonna do it for the best of to help your game. And you will get better that way. You could do this from the garage. And then what you want to do is, if you run through our whole ladder system, and you run through the curriculum of self-defense, and you want to test, then make a trip, make a road trip out to Texas or California, either of our studios, whichever is closer to you, and book a private with one of our instructors, and you can get yourself validated for your belt. And then you can go back, and we'll give you assignments to follow for your next belt. It's going to take a while, but we'll give you things to work on, and then you can go fish it out of the Patreon video, and you can learn it that way. Really, the 2 best ways is, if you're in a school, go on the Patreon. And if you don't want to do Patreon, you want to do Gracie Academy, you can do Gracie Academy. It doesn't matter. They've got good videos. Or if you want to do RICKSON Self-Defense Unit, by all means, do that too. They'll all work for you, but we run our system here. This is the way we're most comfortable with, and this is the way we teach all our students here. So for you, if you went through our system, if you're looking to get the combat jiu-jitsu experience, this is the quickest and best and closest way you can get to having our experience. Go on Patreon, watch the videos, and learn the system. So if you're at a school, you do them both. It's going to be a little harder, because sometimes you may find yourself reverting back to the sport way to do it versus the self-defense way to do it. And in that way, you're going to have to make a choice. So if it were me, and I've done this before, I've made the transition myself, I would just purposely do the self-defense version of a ground concept. In the school that I was at that did competition stuff, I just resisted learning the competition stuff. And my professor was okay with it. My professor at the time was okay with it. He didn't care. So that's one way. The other way is something that I've also done, except my mats were in my living room. This is years ago. I'd have friends come over, and I would just work on a specific concept with them. I'd teach it to them, and then I'd go and do it. And we just do it over and over and over. And the next weekend, somebody else might come, because I didn't have anybody who wanted to be just regular, like the way I wanted to be. But I did have people who would come in regularly, right? I'd have somebody come in every weekend, so I'd always have something to work on. So you can do it that way, and that's kind of like the correspondence version, right? The online, you learn online way to do it. They both work as long as you're doing good practice. And as long as you're not trying to jump ahead. If you try to watch 40 different videos in a week, you'll remember nothing. Keep it down to bite-sized pieces. Bite-sized pieces meaning 1 or 2 concepts, and that's it. Do not jump ahead. Learn it inside out, then move on, but always go back and review it once or twice. So if you did worst position, right, you spent 1 training session doing worst position, doing left, doing right, with the arm in, you know, with a choke in there, right, and then the next class you're going to do side mount escape, then do side mount escape, but also do worst position for a few reps left, few reps right. Your third day, you're going to do seatbelt escape. So you're going to do seatbelt escape for the bulk of that day, but you're also going to go back and you're going to do side mount escape for a few reps, left and right, and you're going to do worst position escapes, left and right, for a few reps. Right? You see how it goes? And day 4, you're going to do mount escape, you know, the UPA or the hip, one or the other. Don't try to do both of them in one day. Let's say you do the UPA version of the mount escape for most of your training time, and then you set some time aside to do the seatbelt, side mount, and worst position. Right? See how that works? And what you're gonna do is you're gonna build it up. Now, granted, you're not gonna always go back to doing worst position. There's gonna be a time at which it becomes automatic, and that's fine. Then you can kind of pare back on doing it, do it once in a while, maybe once a month, but then you're gonna have maybe 5 different concepts that you're working on to a lesser degree, and 1 concept you're working on to a heavy degree. So that's a lot to work on for right now. So just take this from this point on and try to work with it. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up in the comments section, and I will be happy to answer it. Or you can also private message me as well. But it's easier if you hit me on the video because I know what video you're talking about. Whereas if you hit me in the private video, in the private comment section, I'm gonna have to go fish the video out. So if I have to go fish a video out, my response might take a little longer. Just giving you a hint there. So anyway, that's all I got for you. Take care, happy training. Bye now.